Finally, the engineer took Alfaro so that he could witness the death of Jaime Rosales. Once they arrived, they quickly took Jaime Rosales to the balcony. There, they told Jaime that they would throw him into the void. Alfaro was to observe absolutely everything, but before this, they warned Alfaro that he would now have to work for them and would have to say exactly whatever they told him. They told Alfaro that he had to say that Jaime Rosales was drunk and had decided to commit suicide, and that's why he jumped from the balcony. Alfaro, with no other option, had to accept the deal. He was very nervous at the moment when they were about to throw Jaime Rosales into the void. The engineer placed a towel over the Farrell's nose, and this made him lose consciousness. Meanwhile, Historia and Diana threw Jaime into the void. Once he fell, he was smashed like a smashed beating wall. Jaime's security men arrived quickly and called an ambulance. When the ambulance arrived, we could see Jaime Rosales move his arm. This means he may have survived, or perhaps it was a production error. They didn't edit out the parts where he moved his arm. But the most intriguing thing is that later, when the ambulance arrived, they took him away inside a black body bag, which indicates that he did indeed die. But they might use our movement in the future to bring him back to life. Again, the character of Jaime Rosales then arrived at this place. The police interrogated Alfaro, and he said exactly as the Casillas family and the engineer told him. Then Diana, the engineer and the others were celebrating with music, all drums and drinking. But at that precise moment, Ismail arrived, who got very angry with her because, according to him, he hadn't ordered her to kill Jaime. Diana Rosales told him that nobody gives her orders, and that what she did was settling a score for the death of her sister and her mother. Diana rubbed it in his face that she had also loved him, since they had been lovers in the past, which angered Ismail greatly. And he told Diana that nobody would tell him what to do. For this reason, he grabbed the radio on the shelf, listening to music, and smashed it on the floor, and he told Diana that he was the one in charge there. But Diana quickly put him in his place. Now she wasn't willing to let Ismail continue bossing her around. After this, Elizabeth and the engineer went to a new safe house. There, Elizabeth asked the engineer why he had helped Diana with the death of Jaime Rosales. He made it clear that he didn't like Ismail's behavior, and for this reason, he decided to support Diana, since he also saw her as the direct heir of Aurelio Casillo. But before all this, Laura decided to confront Elizabeth and asked her directly if they had slept together in the presidential suite the night before. Elizabeth didn't deny it. She admitted that she had been with him. Not only that time, but many more times. But she assured her that it would be the last time. In short, Laura and Elizabeth ended up getting along very well. Friends. Strange thing, right? Then Tiberio's partner arrived at the prison, where he was being held, and she delivered an order for him to be released. The police officer in charge of Tiberio's custody didn't want to believe it. Then, she passed the phone to the Secretary of Security, who directly ordered his release. For this reason, the police officer decided to resign, and now he will go to the D and in this way expose all the connections that the government has with drug trafficking in Mexico. After this, Tata and Laura had a conversation. Laura told her that it's possible that she might end up giving herself a chance with Julio Esparza. Navas believes that his name is really that, but in reality, he agrees in a certain way. Then she received a call from Nebula, the family's trusted hacker, and he indicated that he had already located him, that is, Julio Esparza, and that he had his number by phone. He quickly gave it to Laura, and then Laura decided to call Jakarta. But this Monday in episode 35 of Aunt Casillas' show, Laura will tell Jakarta that she wants to go on a date with. He will agree, although very suspicious, since he believes that perhaps Ismail has already found out, and what he wants is to set him up with Laura. Then Laura will have a conversation with Ismail, and she will tell him everything she has talked about with Elizabeth, and there she will demand that he give her custody of their daughter, the holy thing with which evidently Ismail will not agree. For his part, Diana will tell Horacio that she no longer wants to be Ismail's employee. That is, she will not allow him to continue working for her. Evidently, Horacio will give her all his support, since he has a lot of money. And although Diana also has her own fortune, she also ends up receiving a large part of the inheritance left by Aurelio, which, let's remember, Aurelio would have left that inheritance so that Rutila would be in charge of finding it. But if Rutila wasn't there, the second in command would be Diana. And finally, it was Ismail. So now, we could see that Diana would be completely breaking ties with Ismail, and she would have the support of the engineer and also Horacio. Meanwhile, Ismail will tell Esquinas that Diana has turned against him, and that he must act, and that he won't allow it to stay like this. That is, Ismail will end up expelling Diana from his organization, which will give her a chance to become his competition. So don't miss, this Monday, episode number 35 of the Casillas Dynasty. As always, leave us a like, comments, and share the video.